Oh, right there at the end. Right there at the end. Came up and hit it last second, guys. Oh my God, I saw the whole thing. That is a decent bass. That is what we wanted. Let's go, guys. Just working it. What is going on, everybody? Ryan Rigged here, taking over the KastKing channel once again. And today we're heading out on the paddleboard. I'm going to do some finesse winter fishing, trying to show you guys how to find the winter bite with some of my favorite techniques. I got 3 rods with me. We'll talk more about it actually when we get out there on the water. But today's mission is to show you guys how to find the bite during this fall and winter transition when things are really rough. So let's go and get to it. Alright guys, so we just got the paddleboard all set up, so I'm going to show you guys real quick what we're rocking. Once again, that Speed Demon rod we got at a Royale Legend reel. It is going to be that Carolina rig, aka the Texas rig. Kind of a worm Texas rig setup, so I got an ultra light worm setup. It is a 1/8 ounce with a 3/0 hook. We'll probably just throw a little mini craw on there. I'm thinking a little Googan baits, a little cracking craw. And on top of that, we got my little Crixus. It has a little willow blade, little vibrating jig head. And I'm gonna probably change out for a little bit darker color because the water does look a little bit more stained than I was expecting. Last but not least, we're gonna have that little Speed Demon jig worm spin rod with a Royale Legend II spin reel. I got a drop shot set up on there. This is a little, I believe it's a 2/0 little straight hook. And then we got a 3/16 of an ounce little drop shot, stealth drop, so we can get in and out of any rocks, grass that might be down there in the depths. So now that you guys know exactly what we are tossing today, let's go ahead and push this paddleboard out there and see if we can get on that winter bite. All right, man, they cleared the path for me this time. I think for starters, we're gonna go ahead and pull up this little tiny Texas rig, guys. It is that winter time, man. Gotta downsize it. I mean, one of the first things we do is just downsize it right away. Get up in that shallow right now. A lot of overhang on these trees, so I'm trying to mimic something falling off these trees, slowly drifting into the depths. There's gonna be a slope going into a channel. A lot of times when you're dealing with creeks like this, or just bodies of water in general, got a nice little area over here where the brush is stacked up. One thing about winter fishing, man, you never know where these fish are going to be. They can be stacked up in the deep, they can be stacked up in these trees. You know, they can be all together in one bunch, they can be all separated roaming, looking for a meal. One thing that I will say, you might notice it is a little bit later in the evening. It's one thing you want to do is kind of give the fish a little bit of time to warm up in the day. And hopefully you just make your way out there and find them when they're feeding. But winter fishing, it can be hit or miss. You can do a little bit of everything, and sometimes you just won't find the bite. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Oh yeah, we found them, guys. We found them. Would you look at that, guys? A winter bite has been achieved on that tiny little cracking craw. Just decided to change up location, went a little bit further up north on the pond. Found where the wind is drifting up against these little vegetation lines, and sure enough, first, second cast, I think, got him on that little tiny cracking craw, junior size. So 1/8 ounce Texas rig produces our first fish. Let's go ahead and get him back in the water though. Fish. Yeah. There we go. Found another little one hanging up in these trees. That vibrating jig, man. It's a little tiny guy, but hey, it's a fish right up over here in these little tree lines. I knew we'd start finding them. Just gotta start moving. Run up in some bait, it sounds like. All right, guys. Fish number 2. Vibrating jig, vibrating bait. Gets a little guy, man. Let me show off. A little show off. All right, guys, so I've decided to call it as far as paddleboard goes. I'm gonna just load this thing up and head to another local pond, just because it's getting pretty chilly out here. This wind has not been easy, and this bite has been pretty darn hard. So I'm gonna go try out this same method at another location. It's a little pond right up the road from us, and hopefully we can make something happen. If not, we'll maybe just give it a few other spots, and just really try to show you guys a little bit more about these techniques, a little bit more about these rods, and just kind of have some fun out there and hopefully get this winter bite going. So I'll meet you at the next spot. All right, guys, here we go. Here goes nothing. Try to do some pond hopping, some bank fishing. These rods are real quick. I only got one rod with me right now. It is just going to be that casting rod. Excuse me. I figured it'd be a little bit easier. Kind of just toss around and walk around with one rod instead of carrying multiple rods with me. So we're going to stick to that junior. Ooh, I feel like I had something like a rock, maybe. Either a fish or a rock. Well, guys, after just stumbling across this little bluegill bed and seeing a few scurry off, pretty certain the fish are going to be staying on this portion of the pond. It seems like, you know, the sun's going to be coming up from that side and hitting this part of the water the longest time of the day. And whoops, like I said earlier, let nature tell us what to do. These fish, they're going to go ahead and do what other fish are doing. If they're hugging up on this side because it's warmer, then that's what we need to be doing. We need to be tossing on this side. So I'm kind of glad I walked onto this side of the pond now and get this backlash out real quick. Good to go. And let's flip this crawl around some of this vegetation over here. Which also has little flat little inlets. I'm going to cast them before I start walking into them now, just to be safe. There could be some bass. Oh, look at that. Oh, that was a good fish. Look at all that wake it just created. Like I just said, there could be a good bass right up here against the shoreline. Letting the nature tell us what to do. That felt at least to be a 2-pounder, maybe bigger. Like I said, I'm trying to fish all these spots before I get over to them and start spooking any of the stuff off the walls. Oh, right there at the end, right there at the end. Came up and hit it last second, guys. Oh my God, I saw the whole thing. That is a decent bass. That is what we wanted. Let's go, guys. Just working it from the deep. First time I get to fish this point ever, I pull a fish out of it. Look how fat that little guy is, dude. He just smacked it right here at the last second. Came up, just looked at it, took it. Didn't even think twice after he saw it. Oh man, got real close to his eye too. He almost lost an eye for that guy. There we go, guys. Another solid fish on this rod. I am loving it, man. That hook set is mean when you're not standing 6 feet away and at a slope with a tree in the way. All right, guys, so that might do it for the night. I'm gonna go ahead and fish these last few little spots real quick and just try to see if we can get a few more bites. As you can see, that Texas rig downsizing has been the bite of the day. We also got one on that vibrating jig head. So if you're not throwing small, you need to be throwing something loud or noisy to drive these fish in. Started fishing slopes a little bit more shallow with the vegetation. After I figured out that the bluegill are hugging on this side of the shoreline, I just started casting over here, fishing on this side. And within 5 minutes, lost the first fish, got the second fish. So, hey, we found the pattern, guys. Fish this sunny side of the lake, you know, look for the structure, look for the bluegill, fish in and out of the bluegill, downsize your baits, use stuff that makes noises and attracts the fish, and you will find that winter bite. So, with that being said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.